guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I wanted to make a video about changing our belief systems. I think that this is a really big one when it comes to manifestation, because if you have a counter belief to one of your desires, it's going to hold you back and it might take longer for you to manifest whatever it is that you want. For example, if you have a belief like you feel like you're unworthy or you feel like you're not good enough, the first step is actually becoming aware of these beliefs, like understanding what's actually going through your mind and what do you believe is true about yourself or about the world. And the amazing part about this is that once you realize it, once you bring awareness to the belief, straight away you can shift it then. It's only when it's like running in your subconscious and you don't even realize it and it's kind of like sucked you in, that's when it's an issue. That's why the manifestation techniques like journaling and meditation can really help you to uncover the negative belief systems that you have running inside of you that are holding you back. So once you recognize what your belief systems are, that's when you start to be able to shift it. So for example, if I notice that I'm thinking like my job is really hard for me, or like I'm struggling in my job, as soon as I have those thoughts, I'm like, oh my God, I notice it, and I'm like, whoa, that's just a belief system I have running in my mind, and I can just change that. So the changing it is easy, but it just takes persistence and practice. So once you notice that thought, then you can actually just shift it to the opposite and say to yourself, like my example was, everybody loves me no matter what I do. So I just started repeating that in my head every time I remembered, every time I thought about it, every time I noticed I was having like a negative thought about my job, I would say in my head, everybody loves me no matter what I do. And the craziest part of it all is I practiced that for about a week and it became default. So when you're practicing it over and over and over again, you find yourself thinking the thought by accident. It just pops into your head as if, like, you know, when a song, it comes into your head because it's been repeated. So I noticed when it became a default, I made a mistake in work and I just was like, oh, it's okay, everybody loves me, right? And I kind of laughed at myself like, oh my God, I actually changed my belief, that worked. But the amazing part of it all is that after the week of doing that, I actually decided to take a bit of a backseat and chill out a bit in my job, because I've always been like, you know, like really like working hard or like going 10 steps ahead of myself. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna let this go. Like I'm just gonna like take on the idea that life is just a game, it's just an experience, nothing's a big deal, and I'll just do what I need to do but take a back seat, right? And I did that. And I did that because of the belief system of everybody loves me no matter what I do, so it doesn't matter what I do, I'll just chill out. Within that week, I got like 3 different emails from people in the company telling me how much of an amazing job I'm doing. I got a bonus, I got a pay increase. All of this happened and I was just like, wow, the effect, how powerful it is to change that belief system. It's just a win-win. Like I was happier, everybody was happier, you know what I mean? So the paradox of all of this is that people have the belief system that it's hard to change a belief. So if we can change that one, then everything else is easy, you know what I mean? So when you notice yourself saying, oh, it's so hard to change my belief, you know, I've been thinking this my whole life, how can I just change my belief? Notice that thought and tell yourself, it's easy to change beliefs. A belief is just a thought that we keep thinking. So if you notice that you're thinking that thought and decide to think something differently just once and then practice it, little baby steps with persistence over time, suddenly you'll have a whole new concept of self and you'll be like a totally different person. And not only that, it's like for the rest of your life, you can, any belief that comes up that you realize that's holding you back, you always know, you know what, I can actually just change this. So nothing is actually an issue anymore. One of my favorite belief systems to change is that life is fun, life is easy for me. So I used to have the belief that you had to work hard to be happy, you had to work hard to earn money. Life is a struggle, right? So that's a big one to change. So I shifted that into, I live in easy world. Like life is just easy for me. Like things just work out. I'm in the right place at the right time. And I shifted that belief and it became my reality because I just kept repeating it and I just kept saying it out loud in scenarios and in my head. And then the universe actually conspires to actually make that true for you. And you, not only that, but you actually perceive the world through a different lens when you have that belief. So even today, I was having an issue with something. And then I just like realized, oh yeah, like sometimes I forget I can just use these manifestation techniques. And within a day, the problem was completely resolved. Like it wasn't even there, because I had shifted from a lack mentality into a positive expectation of I already have it. And in this particular case, I did it through scripting, because I'm actually aligning with the energy of already having it. I'm like bringing that into my consciousness, and suddenly I've shifted into a different state. So I perceive the whole world differently. And it was like the issue just didn't even exist. It just disappeared. So it really can be that easy. I kind of laugh as well because, like, you know, if anyone is skeptical about this, my answer to that is, you know what? This way of thinking and this way of being like has made me so happy, and I have found happiness through this, that even if I'm wrong about all this stuff, I'm gonna die so happy. Like, so I don't care if I'm wrong, you know what I mean? It's like it's an absolute win-win. Like deep down in my soul, in my heart, when I meditate, I can feel that this is truth. But to anybody that's skeptical about it, if it can make you happy, then is that not all that matters, is feeling happy? Another like simple belief system I shifted and created for myself is I always find the solution. There's always a solution and I always find it. And I really, really like that one, because whenever an issue comes up or whenever I'm struggling with something, I'll just say, I'm going to find the solution. And then I do, because I've actually shifted my focus onto the solution while I'm saying that, so that I'm able to actually see other opportunities and other ways of doing things, rather than the contracted way of I'm stuck. This is a problem. I don't know how to get past this, you know? Whereas the thought of there's always a solution is so expansive, you know? Like it's like maybe I don't know the solution right now, but I know that one exists, and I'm actually putting my consciousness into a state of openness that lets other ideas come into my mind. So for this one, a technique I really recommend is just the discovery journaling. So that's just where you take a pen and paper and just write out whatever is on your mind, and just let the pen flow. You'll be surprised once you start to write, like so much just comes out as you're writing. Like it flows once you actually take the first step to actually sit down with the notepad and pen. That is an amazing way of uncovering your belief systems, because you might not even realize like what's actually going on inside your head. It's like there's millions and millions of thoughts, you know. When you put the pen to paper, it's easier to analyze and decipher what's actually going on, and you'll see, you know, like, oh, this is so hard because, or like, I really struggle with this. Like I used to always say I'm really bad at maths, you know, but it's like, of course I was bad at maths if I kept saying that. Whereas as soon as I realized that, it's like, I don't want to actually project that out, you know. So it's like I can just change that belief by repeating a whole new statement, like in my mind, like, of course I'm good at maths, you know. And when I did that, I actually found that the job I was in at the time, when I shifted that belief, I was really like struggling, like working on a budget, and I uncovered the belief system that I said I'm really bad at maths, and I just was like, oh, numbers aren't my thing. And it was just because I had a bad experience when I was a child, but I chose that belief system because of one thing that happened, and then I just carried that belief system on over and over and over and over again, and made that my concept of self. So as soon as I realized it from the journaling, then I said, I can just shift that and be like, yeah, no, I'm really smart. I can figure things out. Like, there's always a solution. And as soon as I said that to myself, it was just like, I didn't even understand what I was finding difficult about it. You know, I just shifted it into a whole new person. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, if you have noticed any like limiting beliefs that you have that are running like on autopilot in your mind, and what would be like the opposite of that belief, or what truth can you find that proves the opposite of what you're telling yourself, or maybe just asking yourself the question, is that actually true? Like, or am I just used to saying that my whole life? You know, some people always say like, oh, I'm really unlucky, I never win anything. Like, where did they even get that from? Maybe they picked that up from their parents. Like, a lot of people pick beliefs up from their parents. I know I did. Like, you have to get like a steady job that's going to pay the bills. Like, now when I created my own belief systems, I completely disagree with that, because I believe follow your highest excitement. Because why are you doing anything like getting a steady job or making money? Because you think it's going to make you happy. Whereas if you follow your highest excitement, then that's what makes you happy now. And the ironic part, I don't know if it's irony, maybe like the paradox, is that you're actually, when you're happier, you're in a much better state to succeed, because your vibration is higher. You're gonna have more energy. Like, you're the highest version of yourself when you're happy. So I always like recommend to like follow your highest excitement. I'm holding this quartz crystal, and I was just thinking to myself, like, for anyone who doesn't believe that crystals have power, or that they're like innately high vibrational, do you ever just think to yourself, like, quartz like powers clocks? For me, like, that, if I don't know, if that's not a reason that there's power in crystals, I don't know what is. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If you have any like negative belief systems, or if you need help shifting them or changing them, or if you have any questions, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching the video. Remember to hit the bell icon and subscribe down below if you like the video. Give it a thumbs up. And until then, I'll see you guys on the next video.